In this recording, I will talk about the mariachi ensemble from Mexico, and it originated in Jalisco, and there you see the part, the province or the district where it started during the 18th century. The first evidence of the mariachi was heard on rural farms and in small villages of western Mexico. Indigenous and mestizo people adapted and altered Spanish and German instruments, and it was originally imported for church use by the missionaries into folk instruments. So at the background you will hear the mariachi ensemble. It's the term used to refer to people of the mixed race in Mexico, most commonly of indigenous and Spanish descent. Mariachi developed from single wandering performance to small ensembles called son. So son, together. And if you use the full term, it is son de mariachi. These groups began as 3 to 4 musicians playing together on violins, instruments from the guitar family, and harps. They performed music for folk and festival purposes, accompanying song and dance. Slowly, the son groups evolved into larger ensembles with more instruments, music, and diverse styles. Now, if you look at any mariachi band, you will see that they are actually always wearing the same type of clothing for men, suits with close-fitting pants and jackets with designs in silver and gold embroidery. It's usually in black, but you can also have vivid colors. And for the women, I have long skirts. So let's see what a mariachi is. Mariachi is a combination of cultures that could only have evolved in Mexico. We've got the colonists, we've got slaves there, and the indigenous cultures in Mexico. Every community living in the area contributed to this tradition in some ways. We have the indigenous Mexicans with their singing scale, the grito, and alternations to instruments of immigrant communities. We have the Spanish colonists bringing their instruments, their dances, their lifestyles, and the trajes. The German colonists with their instruments, the polka tradition. We had slaves coming from Africa, bringing the polyrhythm from Africa. We have the pattern 3 against 2, depending on what your ear focuses on, whether it's 2 or 3. And then the mestizos, the culture of the local people and the lyric content, what they sing about. So we have a combination of lots of cultures in the mariachi. Musicologists, researchers who study music, first believed that the word mariachi came from the French word for marriage, because mariachi was the go-to live music, the live music that they played at Mexican weddings in the late 19th century. It is now believed that mariachi is an indigenous word having to do with the wood or tree used to build mariachi instruments. And we also now know that the word mariachi was used before it was associated with weddings. You can use the word mariachi to refer to the type of music, the ensemble playing the music, and also a single musician who performs mariachi music. By now you know that I like the Dr. Smith method to study the elements of the mariachi band and all the other traditional musics. I like the Dr. Smith method. So the dynamics, Dr. Dynamics, the dynamic contrast is evident in most songs. We've got softer and louder sections. In general, the mariachi ensembles tend to be loud, as the music is high in energy and meant to be performed at festivals and dances and happy events outdoors. And we've got instruments that also play loud most of the time. The rhythm, it can be in 4/4 time, 3/4 time, 2/4 time, in simple or compound subdivisions, and or both in the case of songs featuring polyrhythm. Tempos may vary from slow songs, if you have songs of love or grief, or it can be high energy dance songs, but never too fast, because then the people can't dance to that. The most complicated rhythms happen in the guitarra and the vihuela. That's 2 of the instruments with rasguedo strumming patterns, but the voice and the violin and the trumpet usually have simpler rhythms on the melody. So that's a word, that rasguedo is a guitar technique. So if you don't know what that is, try to find a few YouTube videos with the rasguedo. Now, structure or the form, simple folk songs that are often strophic are found. We can have an introduction with a coda, so it can be A, B, A, B. We can have that. And you can also have the coda that is totally different music from the rest of the song. Melody. Melodies are diatonic, so it comes from the major or the minor western scale. The majority of the songs are major, but some songs are also in the minor if they're sad. The melodies are simple and folk-like and are sung by singers or easy enough to play on an instrument. Now I'm quickly going to go through the instruments. We have different parts. We've got the violins and the vocals with a top voice. Then we have a rhythm section and the harmony, and then we have the guitar like the bass, like a basso continuo, and the traditional mariachi can have 6 to 8 violins, 2 to 3 trumpets, 1 vihuela, I think that is the pronunciation, 1 guitar and 1 guitarron. So you can stop it here and go through everything that I've written on the violin. So read through that. They play virtuosic sections with a clear tone and not much vibrato. And there I have a picture. So stop it here and look at the violin. Now what's important about the violin of the mariachi is identical to the violins that I find in a Western classical orchestra, in the European and American folk music. Okay? When used in the mariachi band, this violin is not altered. And there I see a picture of a vihuela. Okay? And read about that. So it looks like a small little guitar. And it performs in the rasguedo tradition of strumming. Okay? This style involves using the fingernails to strum the instrument. Downwards with the fingers and upward with the thumb. So look at that on YouTube. So stop it here to really go through the vihuela. Now the next instrument on the list, the guitarra. Look at that instrument. Standard guitar is used and not altered in any way, and it serves to supplement the vihuela as a rhythmic element. So that's strumming that you find in the mariachi band. Stop it here and go through the whole guitarra. Now there I have the big bass guitar, guitarron, and it's the single most important element because it does not only serve as the base of the group, but it gives the group its characteristic sound. Okay? The rule of the thumb is if you don't have a guitarron, there should not be a performance. And the timbre is booming, thick and round, and it plays only one note at a time. Stop it here and go through the guitarron. The next instrument on the list is the trompetta, the metallic brass instrument with 3 valves. It's identical to the classical trumpet. It has got a thick, brassy and bright timbre. The standard trumpet is used. The trumpet players are asked to perform with cup mutes because otherwise it is too loud. It was the last instrument historically to join the mariachi ensemble. It plays a little counter melody or supports the violins performing the melody. The playing technique is very unique, and it includes short clipped notes and a dramatic vibrato. It usually performs in a duo or trio where you have 2 or 3 trumpets, and it's also a show-off instrument, and they will often play with very loud volume, show off their technique by sustaining a note for a very long time, or they will play very high notes as a way to show off their skills during a solo. There can also be other instruments involved, and they can be flutes or the horn or a harp or accordion and the organ, and they are used for specific arrangements. Now let's look at the way that they sing. El cantante, the singer. Many mariachis have a dedicated singer responsible for singing the verses of the songs. Mariachi singers often have rich, resonance, full timbres to their voice. Often the violinists, the trumpeters, and the guitarists will join in singing the chorus. So while they play, they will also sing with the el cantante, with the singer. The singer is very charismatic and is the face of the mariachi with his clothing and his personality. The singer often uses very expressive vibrato and other vocal ornamentations to deliver a bigger emotional impact. He may also show off with incredible vocal control, impressive sustained and ornamented gritos. Now, I can have two types of singing, that's not important. You can stop it here and read through that. We've got the el grito and the el llanto, the cry, and that also makes this typical Mexican. So you can have that ay, ya, 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 or the rolled R's, or the Viva Mexico calls that they have in between, or bird whistles, or other shouts. You can also have a little comical cry that they add in the middle of sad songs. So read through this, stop it here and read through this. Let's now get to the T and the H of the Dr. Smith. The timbre, mariachi ensembles are bright, thick and resonant when all the instruments and voices are combined. Also look at all the different timbres of the instruments in the mariachi band. I have included it with each and every instrument. The texture, most mariachi music is homophonic. You have a melody accompanied by chordal background, and every instrument has got its specific function to contribute to the texture. There can also be some simple polyphony in the form of a violin and or a trumpet melodies responding to the vocalist melodies. So you can have a thicker or a thinner texture combined. Harmony, we've got simple Western harmonies used. And most basic guitar chords are used so that everybody can play this. Melodic instruments all play in unison, or I have simple two-part harmony with the intervals of a third and a sixth. So now let's see what they sing about. While there are instrumental songs that have no words, most canciones songs have vocalists and lyrics. Mariachi songs are Mexican folk songs. They sing about all walks of life, like love, history, nature, patriotism, rural life, and it's similar to other world music. You know, we here in Africa, we are also, it's a well-known fact that our songs are also very functional. It sings about birth, marriage. We have sad songs, we have songs to educate children, and I'm sure it's the same in the Mexican folk song tradition. There are many songs that all mariachi sing, okay, like typical songs that they sing. Others are new and composed in the tradition of the mariachi by specific singers or for specific singers and ensembles. Non-mariachi songs from any other genre of music can be arranged into mariachi canciones. So they can also take from the tradition of non-folk songs and put that into the mariachi characteristics. So what we have discussed now is we see the mariachi, we will find the mariachi, what the meaning of the word is, what groups influence the mariachi, the instruments. We did the Dr. Smith method, and the songs and the content that they sing about. So watch this, try and find other YouTube videos on the mariachi, and I'm sure that you will then have no problem in identifying and knowing your mariachi music.